Spirit Airlines is known for offering some of the cheapest airfares around, and maybe you have to expect a little different level of service like carry-on bag fees in exchange for the bang for your buck you get. But when a flight that's supposed to be an easy 5 hours adds on a 14-hour nightmare ordeal, it's a pretty harsh lesson in you get what you pay for. That's what happened for over 100 Spirit passengers this weekend, and ABC's Jim Avila tells us how it went down.
Spirit Airlines, home of low fares, fees to carry on your own bags, the ultimate discount airline. With some Spirit passengers perhaps learning today the high cost of the low fare.
It was unreal. It was painful.
A nightmare 19 hours in the making.
But then when we landed, people were like singing hallelujah, literally.
Here's what happened. Spirit Air Flight 310, Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale, taking off at 10:56 Pacific time, but approximately 3 hours into the flight, or 4 o'clock in the morning Central Time, forced to land because a partially blind passenger with what police call a mental health issue is out of control.
This man was like touching everybody who was going to the bathroom, don't letting nobody goes to the bathroom come out to their seats, kicking their walls like crazy.
Houston is the closest airport, but Spirit doesn't normally fly there. So the airline has no staff, no gate, and no airline partners. So passengers wait for a gate on the tarmac for nearly 2 hours with no air conditioning or comforts.
And we were in the plane for what, an hour? More than an hour with nothing to drink or eat.
Finally in the terminal, families, many returning from vacation, just sit and wait. Until around 8 a.m., the pilot announces the crew can no longer legally fly. So passengers will be bused 5 hours to Dallas, where Spirit has a plane to take them to Florida. A plan met with chaos and rebellion.
I hear you. Folks, I hear you.
New plan, a new plane, and crew is brought in from Florida, but doesn't take off until 3:15 in the afternoon, arriving in Fort Lauderdale at 8 o'clock, 14 hours late. Would things have been different on bigger traditional airlines? Maybe not. American Airlines stranded passengers for 9 hours on the tarmac in Austin in 2006, which led to the Passenger Bill of Rights that fines airlines for keeping flyers off the gate more than 3 hours. But consider this, the nation's largest airline, Delta, has 775 planes to call on for backup. Spirit has 42. And look at Delta's route map versus Spirit's. Much easier to get stranded, says William McGee, author of the new book Attention All Passengers, a former flight operations staffer for Pan Am.
For some low-fare carriers, it really has to do with the fact that they run a sort of bare-bones operation. They don't have the same type of network that the big airlines have. And so when something goes wrong, it can go very wrong very quickly.
Even Spirit today apologized to its passengers for not living up to its standards and offered refunds and credits for future flights, acknowledging in a statement to ABC News that when forced to divert to an airport it does not serve, it takes extra time to get a gate and deplane, and that it had to fly in an aircraft from far away.
There's a reason that low-cost carriers can offer lower fares, but they also don't have the same type of network at their disposal.
JetBlue, another discount airline with a limited route map, stranded passengers for 10 hours back in 2007. And unlike the majors, airlines like Spirit and JetBlue fly city to city, or what is called point to point in the industry, and they don't guarantee connections. If you're delayed and miss the next leg, McGee says they're not obligated to help.
Not all tickets are created equal, and that's the bottom line.
Spirit is one of America's fastest growing airlines, making its mark on price, and according to critics, not on service, as these passengers learned in their 19-hour lesson in airline economics. I'm Jim Avila for Nightline in Washington, D.C.